good morning and welcome to Cityline. It is a pleasure and a privilege to be in your home. We are live every Thursday morning. This morning is September 21st, and we have a great hour ahead of us. Later on, we'll be talking with the Hope Program. And if you don't know what the Hope Program does, you're about ready to find out. So buckle up, Buttercup, because they are changing the face of Tacoma. And then, of course, we are going to have Schools Out Washington, the Bridge Conference. Leandra and Farron are here to talk about our young people and what they are doing to make sure that they have the best life possible. Brian Flint and Kristen Willis are here from Sound Outreach to talk about the upcoming luncheon and what you can expect and what they are hoping you will learn from that luncheon. And then before I introduce you to these beautiful women who you saw on the wide shot, yes, they do have pink hair, and it's on purpose. We're going to go to our pet of the week. So, Miss Lindsay, tell me, who do you have with you who needs a forever home?
Yeah, so who I have with me here today is Muffin.
Muffin
is a sweet and adorable 3-year-old pit bull who's looking for her loving home, and she would do great in any household. Also does well with elementary school kids or older, as well as has history with a male dog. So she would do well if you have a male dog in the home as well, around her same age. She's also very playful, is a master fetcher, loves to play a game of Frisbee, and she's just so loving. She also has a great smile too.
I have to say that I wish we could have filmed it and our audience could see it now. She came in here and said hello to the 3 of our guests. And put her butt for a butt scratch and nuzzled. She is incredible. So absolutely, boy, I would imagine, because our dolly that we had last week now has a new home. So we're hoping that Muffin does too. Are we still doing the beer contest?
Correct, yes, we are doing the beer label contest with E9 Brewing Company. So if anyone wants to submit their pet's photo, it could possibly be on a beer label for a unique brew, and they can submit that by September 25th.
I love that.
And just go to our website and you'll see something on our homepage and you can get more information on how to enter.
As always, thank you for being here every single week. It just does my heart so good to see these animals. Yeah. And we'll see you next week. And Muffin, no offense, I don't ever want to see you again. There we go. With me now on the comfy couch are 3 women who are going to talk about Wigged Out Ride for breast cancer. Yep, I said that. Please join me in welcoming Sue Scanlon. You are the founder and organizer, cancer survivor, and you are a motorcyclist.
I know.
God, you need to have that on a business card. Welcome to Cityline.
Thank you.
Great
Thanks,
to have
Amanda.
You brought your mates with you.
I did. I brought my girls with me.
So this one, Lynn McGugan, you are a volunteer at Virginia Mason Cancer Centers. Welcome, my dear.
Thank you.
Love the wig.
Thank you.
Boy, if you're gonna go pink or go home. Both of you. And rounding out this beautiful couch, Jen Gallagher, you are a cancer survivor, and you are also a motorcyclist that rides with these beautiful hats on. Welcome to Cityline, my dear.
Thank you.
Good to have all 3 of you on the couch. All right, so Sue, you are the founder and the organizer of the Wigged Out Ride. Oh my gosh. I pray I get to pass you guys one of these days.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I
we will.
just would probably fall out of my car. Tell us how this started, because it's going to have a real tender, intense story to it.
Yeah, it does. So my story started in 2006. I was, you can do the math, you'll figure out how old I am in a minute. But
Well, I'm 60.
I'm a little bit further.
Okay, good. So we're sharing ages
So we're
now.
good. I was in my early 40s, got diagnosed with breast cancer. Didn't know anybody in their 40s that this had happened to, and a lot of my care was done at now Virginia Mason Franciscan.
Yes.
There was no cancer care centre and things like this, so it's a rough journey to go through at any time, but particularly when you don't know anybody else of your age. So my family went through that. 2014, my husband went out and bought an Indian motorcycle. Now, he swears that he called me, he says, oh, honey, I bought the bike. And I'm like, And we talked about, no, we did not talk
Rebecca,
about
you
this.
had that in your mind.
Right. He has these conversations in his mind. I love you, honey. I love you, but yeah. And I went, well, I've got three choices. I'm staying home, or I'm riding on the back, or I'm going to learn how to ride. So at 56 years old, you are never too late, girls, to do this. I went, how hard can this be?
Not as hard as what you were dealing with. Nothing's as hard as that.
It's up there with, you know, I mean, this was not easy to do this. So I learned to ride. So I ride my own bike. And at the same time, we started the riders group. And there was a young girl there called Jenny, another Jenny, also a breast cancer survivor in her early 20s, was when she went through it. And we said, well, let's do something about this. And so we went up, we found out about the clinic, and we went up and spoke to them. And I said, well, let's just call it Wigged Out. And so I bought about 10 wigs, pink wigs. Now, Jenny and I were the only girls on bikes. So imagine all these big motorcyclists.
Oh, teddy bears. Yes.
Right. And so I gave them pink wigs and I said, well, do you want to go for a ride? They went, yeah, sure, let's do this. Right. So I went through. So that was how it all started.
So how many bikes take part? We've got some photos
that year was about 10.
Here.
Right. And a couple of years later, my husband and I were on communication. We pulled up into the parking lot and there were 50 bikes, right? So this is us at LeMay Car Museum.
Do we love LeMay or
I love
what?
LeMay Car Museum. They are so good to us.
These are great pictures.
Last year we had 84 bikes turned up. Now, to give you some perspective of that, I actually lead the bikes. I'm out front. My husband was at the very back. He said, honey, when you were going over the Narrows Bridge, you were getting off the Narrows Bridge and I was just getting on.
Oh my.
So we covered the entire bridge.
Oh, I love this.
Right, so if that, you can imagine that. We kind of stopped traffic.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So how much money have you raised? And help us understand before I get to Lynn about the charity ride. How much have you raised and where does the money go since you guys are your own entity?
Yeah. So we're at about 15,000 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations to all three of you.
Thank you.
And those we couldn't get on the couch. Yes.
Yeah. You know, these motorcycle guys are a little shy. I would have brought some with me, but it's okay. They're a little shy.
The boys in the booth might be threatened. It was a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. So that money goes to everything. Every penny of it goes to Virginia Mason Cancer Centers and to providing free wigs for women going through this horrible disease.
So, Lynn, tell us about the clinics that benefit from this charity ride.
So the clinics that benefit are in St. Joe's, St. Francis, and St. Anthony's. And I get to be the one on the side where I get to purchase the wigs. And then I get the honor of spending about an hour with each patient that comes to see me. And we find a wig that makes them feel like themselves or just confident enough maybe to go to lunch with a girlfriend or see your grandkids or your little first grade students.
That's right.
It is such a privilege.
Oh, I can feel that privilege, that energy that from your eyes. So it's a privilege for you, but what does it mean to the patients besides I have a wig on because I've lost my hair because I'm fighting cancer. I'm now officially a survivor.
Yeah.
But what does it mean to them? Is it as simple as I'm able to get out of the house and go have dinner with my best friend or my sister?
It can be. It can be, gosh, I feel, when I look in the mirror, I feel like I'm me. Yeah. I'm normal.
Are these your wigs? These are the
They
wigs
are.
That you get to,
are.
Yeah.
Yes. And if
Here
we
we
don't
are.
have the right one in, I special order them in, and it's always a gift to them.
Oh.
They don't ever pay. And it's like getting a wedding dress. It's really about fitting for that special moment.
How many do you give away? What do you guess?
I have given over 400 wigs away.
Will you say that again?
Over 400.
How many years is that?
Since 2014.
And that was just
started.
yesterday.
It was
Yeah.
yesterday.
That was during the COVID years.
with
We all
yes, with a break during COVID because we couldn't.
because you couldn't get
couldn't-
close, and,
no.
and especially for people that have compromised immune systems.
Exactly.
COVID was just, oh.
It was horrible.
Wow, 400 heads
Yes,
you
yes.
touched.
I'm
And
just
hearts.
waiting to be able to say 500.
Oh my God.
Thanks to
I
you
love that.
and you.
So Jen, I want to jump to you, and I want to talk about your story and how you got involved with Wigged Out before we run out of time. So,
Okay.
my dear, tell us your story.
I joined a women's writing group, and it's called War Angel Writers, and they do this Wigged Out Ride every year. So when I joined, I got to go on this, and I thought, oh, that's great. And they asked for people who were survivors, so I'm very shyly, okay, I'll go. And they brought us all up front, and we were riding, and we got to go to St. Francis, which is where I was saved. And all these years of pretending that I wasn't dealing with that, I wasn't a survivor, because I had an easier ride than other people, I felt. My kidney had been removed, and it was a rough, a couple years for me, but I felt like I was a poser. I wasn't a real survivor. I didn't go through chemo. I didn't have radiation. So I got better and I moved on. Didn't look back at all. So here I am standing in front of these people. Nurses are coming out and they're accepting here we are. And I just started crying. And I went over to her and I'm like, I can own this. I'm worthy of owning this. And I've completely changed my life. I had out of control diabetes at the time. I was over 300 pounds.
Oh,
so I've
honey.
lost a lot of weight. I'm perfectly, and my A1C is perfect now. And I went back to her a year later and I said, you've changed my life. You've changed my life, because I could feel the feelings that I didn't allow myself to feel.
Absolutely.
So now I'm all in. I love doing this.
And tell us about who's on your T-shirt.
Oh, this is our gal. We call her Mermaid, but her name is Jenny as well.
There we go. That's a
yeah.
good shot from Sue's.
There you
If
go.
we can get the camera on Sue's shirt. There we go. There she is. And tell us about Jenny. Is she still with us?
No, she passed in July.
Okay.
One of our girls in our writing group were friends with her, and she called us one day and said, Jenny's not doing well, and she was a motorcyclist and can't ride anymore. Can we do a ride by and show her that we love her? So all these burly men and a couple of us gals, we rode over and went to her house, and she was on the deck because she couldn't come out. But her mom came out and held us, and there wasn't a dry eye in that place. She passed 2 weeks after that.
My goodness.
But we made her an honorary war angel
That's
with
right.
us, got her a shirt and a patch, and let her know that
she's here. We can
yeah,
feel
we
her.
love her, and
Absolutely.
we're riding for her.
I love that. So we have about a minute and 30 seconds
We'll do
left.
this.
So
I'll
whoa,
talk fast.
we're doing this. So thank yous. Who do we need to thank? And then also I want you to tell me what cancer has taught you.
So many people. LeMay Car Museum, obviously. Virginia Mason, who take such good care of us. We also have several sponsors this year who are donating wigs
Nice.
to the wig salon. So many people, but we'd love to have you come out and just join us.
Absolutely.
LeMay, 9:30 on October 1st. You'll see us all.
There it is.
And then over at Uptown in Gig Harbour. That's all the survivors, those
love
those
that.
girls.
So
all
I'm-
of those girls actually help lead the ride.
So Jen, let's start with you. What has cancer taught you?
I don't get upset as much anymore.
Okay.
I let go of a lot of things. It's hard to get me angry because I've had 10 years that I shouldn't have had.
Right.
And so I've got to see my kids grow up, and I just cherish every moment.
Absolutely. Lynn?
It has really taught me about compassion, true, deep compassion.
Okay. And Miss Founder?
Do you know, for me, I had to make sense of what I went through. And for me, doing this, it's the stories, it's the people that come up. And if I can bring healing to other people, it makes sense of what I do, what I went through.
I want to thank all three of you for being here today.
Well, thank you.
And for the people we could not get on this couch, please extend our thank you. And I want you back on this couch. I want this to be
Okay.
a quarterly thing where we just talk, all right? All right.
Thank you so much.
We have much more to come. After a little bit of musical chairs, we'll have sound outreach in the house. You don't want to miss that. We'll be back in just a bit.